Good morning. My name is Reverend Ron Card, and I would like to welcome you on behalf of the Center for Spiritual Living Carlsbad in Carlsbad, California. Since the beginning of time, we have been asking ourselves questions like, who am I? Why am I here? And what do I believe about life? And then that leads to other questions. For instance, where do we find these answers? I feel that if we are going to find the answers to these questions, we need to look within ourselves. We need to stop looking outside of ourselves for the answer. It's kind of ironic because we look at other people, we look at other situations, we look at our past to find the answers to a lot of these questions. I believe there is a power within each one of us that can lovingly direct us to perfect health, perfect relationships, perfect careers, and bring us prosperity of every kind. What we need to do is we need to begin to live life without limits. We need to take our blinders off, so to speak. Living our lives to the fullest. Living with happiness. And living our dreams. Living free from fear and worry. We have the power to live life any way we choose. Life is a choice. But in order for us to have these things, we have to believe that they are possible. Do you believe that perfect health is possible for you? Do you believe that prosperity of every kind is possible for you? But then we have to be willing to release the patterns in our lives, creating conditions we say we do not want. Do you notice how we spend so much time looking and talking about things we don't want rather than the things that we do want? We have to remember that what we focus on expands. So we have to be very, very careful what we are focusing on, what we are thinking about, and what we are talking about. So how do we do this? We do this by going within, by tapping into that inner power that already knows what is best for us. And this is what I want to talk about this morning. I want to talk about the power within. I feel that this power that moves through us moves us in the direction of who we are. Moves us in the direction on why we are here and what do I really believe about life. We are equipped with everything we need to be successful in life, but we got to believe that too. The journey in life is littered with obstacles, and as part of the human experience, we are often faced with challenges and situations that can cause us to feel stressed and that can cause us to feel we're overwhelmed. Take a good look at what's happening right now in all of our lives. We are in the middle of a pandemic. That's kind of scary in a way because we don't know what's happening from time to time. Many of us are faced with no jobs. Before this all began, we were working. The economy was healthy and thriving. And now we've been laid off or let go from our jobs, and some laid off for a second time. We have no idea when we're going to get back to work or where our next dollar is going to come from. And we're trying to find a way to get our children back to schools, to get them back safely. and for us to stay safe. So that way there we can create the space for us to go back to work if we do have work. And we look at all the indecisiveness of our country and of our government, and we just step back and just shake our heads. You know, often we find ourselves in difficult situations and we make it worse by worrying incessantly about it. We seek to solve our discomfort immediately by any means we can, by any means that is necessary. We try to push through and past what we see as difficult, and most of the time we do this by seeking advice somewhere outside of ourselves. Truth is that we all have access to a great wealth of inner knowledge. You know, I believe that our minds are always connected to the one infinite mind. And therefore, all knowledge and all wisdom is always available to us. We are connected to this infinite mind, this universal power that created us. I mean, think about that. I mean, that is totally awesome. That is power. You know, we call this infinite mind, we call it God, or infinite intelligence, or higher self. We call it spirit or intelligence. We call it life. You know, it is a power for good, and it directs everything in our lives, whether we realize that or not. This power transcends most people's beliefs, which are human limitations. Don't fear life's problems. Learn and grow from them. If you do what you have always done, you will continue to get the same. You know, if you expect something different to happen, it is not going to happen. To get different results, you need to do things differently. When you make conscious contact with this power, it transforms your life, because in your true nature, you are this power in expression. Yes, this power we seek within ourselves. You are this power in expression. In the beginning, the infinite intelligence created each one of us in its image and likeness. This means the force that created us, the force that created you, created me, expressed itself in an infinite number of beings. We are all expressions of God. We are infinite centers of consciousness. You, me, everyone, and everything else in this planet, and millions of other planets, are manifestations of this universal creative energy, this power that is within each one of us. There is a power in you that can be called forth on demand. So next time, when you hear the words that there is a power for good in the universe and you can use it, or you hear there is a power greater than we are and you can use it, you know where this power is. This power is always with each one of us. We must understand that we have choice to use this power in any way that we choose. If we choose to live in the past and rehash all the negative situations and solutions and conditions that went on way, way back, then we stay stuck where we are. Do you realize that your mind digests both positive and negative thoughts? Whatever it is fed. And only you control the mental diet. Your mind can be directed to bring you the life that you want without having to settle or suffer. However, if we make a conscious choice not to be victims of the past and go about creating new lives for ourselves, we are supported by this power within. And new, happier experiences will begin to unfold in our lives because we are doing something differently. The more you connect to the power within you, the more you can be free in all areas of your life. Just remember, what you focus on expands. So what are you thinking about? What words are you using? What is it are you focusing on? You know, I believe that we can contribute towards creation of every condition in our lives, whether good or bad, with our thinking and our feeling patterns. The events that you have experienced in your lifetime up until right now have been created by your thoughts and your beliefs from the past. You know, our thoughts create our feelings. And then we begin to live life according to these feelings and to these beliefs. I say this so that we can begin to take responsibility for our lives. Responsibility is about having real power. Blame is about giving away our power. It is taking responsibility in our lives that gives us the power to make changes in our lives. When we take blame, when we blame the government, when we blame our job, we blame our employees, when we blame our friends, we are giving away our power, and we are powerless to change that. If we can begin to use our problems, our challenges, our opportunities to think about how we can begin to change our lives, then we can begin to have real power. Responsibility is our ability to respond to a situation. We must remember that we always have choice. It does not mean that we deny who we are and what we have in our lives. It merely means that we can acknowledge that we have contributed to where we are. By taking responsibility, we have the power to change. When we begin to take conscious change of our thoughts and our words, then we have the tools we can use. Remember, the point of power is always in the present moment. It's not what happened yesterday. It's not what's going to happen tomorrow. Everything happens right here and right now. I want to give you a few examples of what the mind can accomplish. You know, the people in these examples didn't possess anything that you don't. You know, whether you realize it or not, you have unlimited potential. You have this power, this presence within you. The only limitations are the ones that you impose on yourself. You know, Dr. Seuss from the first children's book was rejected by 23 publishers. The 24th publisher sold 6 million copies of it. Think about that. Rejected 23 times, the 24th time, 6 million copies. Howard Hughes Sr. was forced to abandon his first oil well because he could not drill through hard rock. But then he found Hughes Tool Company and invented a rock drill that became the foundation for the family fortune. Persistence. Going within, seeking that power. So remember, the next time you are faced with a challenge, before you seek the answer outside yourself or ask anyone else for the answer, begin to ask yourself. No matter what the challenge is, just step back and become really quiet. If you need something to concentrate on your breath. And then ask yourself for the answer. I mean, really, really listen. Because you are moving beyond human limitation. You must begin to trust yourself. Sometimes when I first started doing this, going within, seeking that power, I thought at some point that, this is kind of stupid. I mean, I knew that if I knew the answer, I would not be in this place in the first place. But this is simply your ego. This is what I learned. It is simply old habits trying to stop you from changing, because many of us resist change. And change is really what we are seeking. So, in the beginning, I asked some questions like, who are you? But some other questions would be, what did you come here to learn? Or another question would be, what did you come here to teach? We are all teachers, and we are all students of life. We all have a unique purpose. We are more than our personalities, than our problems, than our fears, and than our illnesses. We are far more than our bodies. We are all connected to each other and with all life. We are all spirit, light, energy, vibration, and love. We all have the power to live our lives with purpose and with meaning and with success. The power is within each one of us. This is where we must go, especially in these times of uncertainty, these times of what do we do next, the times of what do we believe. You find the answer within yourself, because the power that is within you knows all and can do all. I want to thank you for joining me this morning. My hope is that I have given you some food for thought, some things to think about. I don't think we give ourselves enough credit. I think a lot of times we're too hard on ourselves. We need to lighten up. We need to live. We need to love. We need to be in harmony with all. You will never be as young as you are today. So squeeze the most out of life every day. Whatever has happened to you in the past is over. It's finished. Don't allow the past to pollute your future. All that matters is what you do today. To live your life your way. It's your life. Claim it. You have to access the most powerful tool ever known. That powerful tool is within us. It is your mind. It is the power that moves through us as us. It is the power of all creation. It can be your ally or it can be your enemy. The choice is yours. I want to thank you and have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.